Hello and welcome again. Today we will take on some questions and we will try to understand how to we solve such type of questions. The very first question I take is from the NCERT book. It says that at the three vertices of an equilateral triangle. So this is an equilateral triangle. At the three vertices of it there lies three charges of similar kind. So it is an equilateral triangle which has all three sides equal and all the three angles to be 60 degree. At the three vertices of this triangle there lies three charges of equal magnitude and of similar kind. The question is to find out the net electrostatic force or Coulomb force at the centroid of this triangle, equilateral triangle. So this is the centroid of the triangle. So this is the question. We have to calculate the force, net force at the centroid. In order to do that, what we do? We draw the perpendicular from this point, for example. Before that, let me just make it clear that to find out the net force due to at the centroid due to all other charges, we have to find out the individual forces due to the charges placed at point A, B and C of the triangle. And then by the method of superposition, we can just sum of these forces to calculate the net force at this point, which is the centroid. So at the centroid it is given that a charge capital Q is placed of similar kind. So what we are doing, we are drawing the perpendicular from the one vertex of this triangle, from, for example, from point B, which makes the side AC at point D. So BD is the perpendicular. So we have to find out the distance of this centroid from all the three vertices. So that is just mathematical part. However, let us try to understand it. So this BD from this triangle, BDC, from here BD, it just becomes equal to, according to Pythagoras theorem, we can just write it as BC cos 30 degree, because whenever we draw the perpendicular, this angle was 60 degree, now it is divided into two equal parts, this is 30 degree. So therefore this is BD. So BC, it is given to be L into, and cos 30 it is equal to under root 3 by 2, right? And this part, because we are interested only in this part, which is BO, the point of centroid, let it be given name O. So this BO, this is equal to, by mathematics, this is equal to 2 by 3 into BD. So which is equal to 2 by 3 into BD stands for under root 3 by 2 into L. So this is equal to, if we calculate it, it just becomes equal to what? 2 cancels out here and we can rationalize this under root 3. So we are left with only L by under root 3. Right? We are left with only this term. We are just doing some mathematics here. So this is the last term we are left with. Okay, now we know BO, and because of symmetry of this triangle, it is an equilateral triangle. All other distances AO and CO, they will also be same. So this is also equal to AO and also equal to CO. This. Now we know the distance of the centroid from each and every charge where a capital Q charge is placed. So what is the force due to all these three charges? because charges are same, so magnitude of all the charges, magnitude of the force exerted by all these three similar charges of equal magnitude, it will be same. So for example, the force exerted by charge at point B, let it be denoted as, and what will be the direction, because the two charges are of similar kind, the direction of the force will be away from this small q charge. So let it be given name FB, and the force exerted by charge placed at vertex O, it will be also away, because this is also the force between the similar charges. So this is like to be given name FA. And what is the force due to this charge placed at C? It will also be away. Let it be given name FC. You can also give it name F1, F2 and F3. I am giving it this name. Okay. Now, according to the principle of superposition, according to superposition principle, the net force at the centroid O, this it will be equal to Fa, the sum of individual forces exerted by individual charges, plus Fc. Now these are the forces in their vector form, because force is a vector quantity. So in order to find out the net of the vector quantities, we need to use the either triangle law of vector addition or the parallelogram law of vector addition. For doing that, we apply the law first at any two forces. For example, for simplification, we are using the resultant of Fa and Fc in the first hand. Whatever resultant come out, we may find the resultant with Fb. So therefore, by using the parallelogram law of vector addition, this force F due to charge placed at A and C, it is Fac. This is equal to, according to parallelogram law of vector addition, it says that it is equal to Fa square plus C square, because we are using the forces at A and C, plus 2Fa into Fc into cos of theta. And here the angle between these two, Fa and Fc, this is Fc and this is Fa, this angle is 120 degree. You can find it by the mathematical geometry under the root. So this is the magnitude of the force, or we can say resultant of the forces Fa and Fc. So this becomes equal to, we can write the expression for Fa and Fc as, so Fa is equal to, Fa is the force exerted on the charge plus q placed at the centroid by the charge at position A. So this is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into q into small q divided by this distance. This distance we have found to be L by under root 3. The square, so it becomes L square by under root 3 square. So it becomes 3. 3 goes to the numerator. So I can just write it here. Similarly, it will be equal to, in terms of magnitude, Fb, and this is also equal to Fc. So all terms are equal because charges are same. So we can simply mathematically do it. Fa, so it is, so we can write it as, because all the forces are same, so we can give it a common name F. So this results F square plus 2 into F into F and cos 120 degree, which is equal to minus 1 by 2 under root. So if we simplify this, it becomes 2F square minus 2 cancels out, so we are left with here F square under root. So this we are left with only F square under root, so which is simply F. So the net force by the two charges at A and C, it is the same force as is calculated here, right? So where this force is directed? According to parallelogram law, these are the two forces Fc and Fa, due to which we have calculated the resultant force FAC. So where this force is directed, this force will be directed in this way. This force is FAC, right? Now we can see, we can find the resultant of this FAC, the resultant of these two forces A and C, with that of the FB. We can find out the resultant. So here is FAC, which we have found. We have to find the resultant of FAC with the FB, and then we can get the net force at the centroid. So here is the FAC, and if we see the diagram carefully, we see that this force FB, due to this charge placed at vertex B, it is directed away, and this force FAC, which is also equal in magnitude, but it is directed towards B, means opposite to FB. So two forces which are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, they just cancel out the effect of each other. So the resultant of FAC with FB is 0. So in that case we can say that F net, the net force at the centroid of an equilateral triangle in such a case is 0. So this is the first question. The situation may be different if charges given at the vertices are of different magnitude or of different sign, but method remains same. Let us take the next question. So in the next question, again there is an equilateral triangle. There is an equilateral triangle again. I can give it name A, B, C. But in this case, because it is also an equilateral triangle, so each and every side and angle will be equal. Each side is given to be L. So at vertex A, charge Q is placed. At vertex C, charge plus Q is placed, which is of same magnitude. And at vertex B, a charge minus Q is placed. So the situation is very much clear from the diagram. So first thing is, you read the question 2 or 3 times, understand it better, and convert the situation into a diagram, because diagrams give more clear idea about the problem and the method to solve it properly. Okay, so in this question it is asked that we have to find out the force at each and every charge. So we have to calculate the force at charge placed at position A. We have to also calculate the force placed for the charge Q placed at position C, and also calculate the force on charge placed at position B, which is minus Q. Okay. So we have to calculate the net force at every charge. So in order to do that, we need to calculate the net force according to the principle of superposition. First case, if we are willing to calculate the force acting on this charge placed at position A, we have to consider the forces exerted by this charge and force exerted by other charge, and find the resultant and do the calculation, right? So I am taking one case of the force at position A. You can do all the similar case for position C and for B. So I am taking the force to be calculated which is acting on this charge placed at position A. So I am taking the force exerted by this charge which is of similar kind. So the force exerted will be repulsive and it will be directed away from the charge at C. I am giving it name FC. And also the force exerted by the other charge which is minus Q placed at position B. It is of positive in nature, and this is negative in nature, this is positive, so it will have attractive force, means force due to this charge will be directed towards itself, and this will exert an attractive force on this charge placed at A. So what is the net force on A? The resultant of these two forces. because magnitudes are same, so resultant can be calculated with the method of parallelogram law of vector additions. So this is the force. I am giving it name F A. For more convenient notation, I am giving the force exerted at A by the charge at C as FCA, force exerted by charge C at A, and force exerted by charge B on A, FBA. So that net force we can represent it by the FA, net force at A. Similarly, net force at C, you can calculate it by summing up the forces exerted by the charges at A and B. So by the charge at A, the force will be repulsive. It is FAC, force exerted by charge at CA on C, the charge at C. And similarly, the force exerted by this charge, we can indicate it by FBC. And the resultant of these two forces will be found again by the similar method of parallelogram law of vector addition. So we can give it this resultant a name FC, the resultant force at point C. Similarly, whenever we are willing to calculate at the force at point B, then these two charges are to be considered. The force due to charge placed at A, it will be positive, and this is negative. It will exert some attractive force, means it will be directed towards A. So this force will be given by FAB, force exerted by charge A on B. Similarly, the force exerted by charge on C, it is also attractive, directed towards C. So this is FCB. So the resultant force due to these two charges, it will be along this direction. We can give it name FB simply. So we have shown all the forces and their resultant. Only the part which is left is the calculation. Okay. So let us write the expression for FCA, FBA, FAC, FBC, FAB and FCB. Because all the charges at equal distance from each other, so in terms of magnitude, all the forces will be of similar magnitude. They may be different in direction. Okay, so the common notation we can give all the forces is F, which is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into Q square divided by L square. Q square, the force between any two charges. I am just writing its magnitude and not the direction. And the separation between any two charges is L. So all these forces FCA, FBA, FAC, FBC, FAB and FCB, they will all be equal in magnitude. Direction may be different. So you can just calculate the resultant of these two forces by the method of parallelogram law of vector addition. So this will give you the resultant force FA. So therefore FA, this is given by FCA plus FBA. So this is the principle of superposition. Now we can simply apply the method of parallelogram law of vector addition and you can calculate the value. So for that, we can, because values are same, so we can write it as the common name as F. So how we write the parallelogram law of vector addition here? It is F square plus F square, because both the forces are same, plus 2F into cos of, because the forces are inclined at each other at 120 degree, under root. So as discussed earlier, this force results equal to F. Right, or which is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into Q square upon L square, and in what direction? Along this force, it will be along CB. So that is how we calculate the net force at position A. Similarly, you can calculate the net force at position C. You will find that it will also be of same magnitude. You do it yourself, you will also get this equal to the same value. So FB, the force, FC, the force on the charge at C, it will also come out to be same, which is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into Q square upon L square, but the direction it will be along AB. So this is the direction how we represent it. And also the force on charge placed at B, you can do the same calculation here by the parallelogram law of vector addition, and you can find out the net force FB also here. So here the angle is not 120 degree, it is 60 degree, which is under root 3 by 2, right? So the value that comes here, it is given by F square plus F square plus 2 into F into cos 60 degree under the root. So here it becomes 2F square plus 2F square into cos 60, which is 1 by 2 under root. So on calculation we are left here with 2 cancels out with 2 and it becomes 3F square. So we are left with only under root 3 into F. So this is the net electrostatic force at charge placed at point B due to these two forces, due to these two charges at A and C. So you can write this as this is equal to under root 3 into 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into Q square upon L square, right, along, you can draw this perpendicular and keep it AD, name it AD. So it is along AD. So this is how we find the net force at all the three charges due to the other charges. Next and final question I am taking, it is about the charges which are placed at the square. So let me introduce you to the question. So there are 4 charges at the 4 corners of a square. So in such a kind of questions, you have to draw the diagram first. So here it is, the diagram. A square, let us name it as A, B, C and D, and it is given that there is a charge plus 2 microcoulomb at point A, minus 5 microcoulomb at B, plus 2 microcoulomb at C and minus 5 microcoulomb at D. So we can see at vertices diagonally opposite there are the similar and same charges at A and C and at B and D, right? So the question is, we have to find out the net force at the center of this square where 1 coulomb of charge is placed, positive 1 coulomb of charge is placed. So let us draw the diagram complete. So this is the diagonal AC, this is the diagonal BD, and this is the center O of the square where some charge plus 1 microcoulomb is placed. So we have to calculate the net force due to all these 4 charges at the center where plus 1 microcoulomb charge is placed. So in order to do that, first we have to write the expression for the forces exerted by each and every charge on this charge, right? So this is our question number 3rd. So we have to calculate the net force at O. So for that let me write the force due to this charge at point A on O. So therefore I can give it a name FAO. The force due to charge at point A on point O. So this force is written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, again by using the Coulomb's law, into the product of charges, which is plus 2 and plus 1. So it is 2 into 1, right? 2 into 1 divided by the distance between the two charges, which is AO square. Sorry, AO square. So we have to find out this distance AO, which will be same as the distance BO, CO and DO. So if we have found AO, all other distances are same: AO, BO, CO and DO. So in case of a sphere, the distance of center from each and every of its vertex is simply given by the formula. You need not to do much calculation. Here AO, it is equal to under root 2 into A, where A is the side of this sphere, which is given to be 10 centimeter, divided by 2. So this is the formula for the distance of center of a sphere from any of its vertex. So we can write it as under root 2 into 10 upon 2, which is equal to 5 under root 2 centimeter. So we just write this value here. So it becomes FAO. This is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into 2 divided by, it is, we have to make the square of AO. So if we square, it becomes 50, right? So this is the magnitude of the force exerted by this charge placed at point A on this charge at the center. What is the direction of this force? Because the two charges are like, so they will have the repulsive forces among them. So the force will be away from this charge. So it will be directed this way. So this is FAO. Similarly, we can write the force due to charge placed at point C, which is of same magnitude and of same polarity. So it becomes FCO. This is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into 2 upon 50. This earlier force was along AO, and this force due to charge at C, it will be along CO. So these two directions are opposite to each other. So this thing is to be kept in mind. Also, the force due to this charge which is at B at center O, FBO, this is, we can write it as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into, now these two charges are minus 5 and plus 1. So it becomes minus 5 into 1 divided by, or if we just write the magnitudes here simply without minus sign, we can just do it. So it becomes the square, which is 50 here. So it becomes just 5. And this is the magnitude of the force which is along. So in this case, the two charges are unlike, hence the forces are attractive. So this force will be directed towards this. Okay, the force due to this charge, charge C, it will be along this. I just forgot to write it. So it is FCO as we have calculated here. And this force is FBO. Right? So it is along OB. And similarly, the charge which is placed at D is also of same magnitude and of similar kind. So it is DO, the force due to the charge at point D. So it is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into, so the value will remain same as the charges are same, 5 upon 50, and this force will be directed along OA. Again, these two forces are equal in terms of magnitude but directed opposite to each other. And so is the case here. So from here we can see that FAO, okay, FAO, this is equal to minus FCO, because the two forces are equal in terms of their magnitudes and direction. They have opposite to each other. So we can write it as this. So this simply implies that the sum of these two forces, FAO plus FCO, this is equal to 0. We can give it name equation number 3. And similarly, these two forces, the sum of these two forces, and similarly FBO plus FDO, this also gives the resultant force to be 0 on the net on this center O. So because the forces are giving the resultant 0, so therefore the net force, total of all these forces, F net, which we can write as FAO plus FCO plus FBO plus FDO. This simply results 0. So this is the net force. Okay, I just forgot to write one more direction. The force due to charge at D, it will be directed towards itself due to the attractive force. So it is FDO. So we can see that in this particular case, the net force at the center is 0. That's all for now. On the next day or next time, we will discuss about electric field. Thank you.